Annett's Astrology Corner, and this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for September 3rd. I know I'm a little late getting these out. I'm a little late getting everything out. Today, I think it could go definitely one of two ways. Pluto and Capricorn is it's the biggest energy that I see. It's going to have the most impact, and I know that's an outer planet, but it's an outer planet working you internally and really diving deep in your unconscious realms. And it's really asking you a lot about where you give away your power. And it has been for quite some time and will be for quite some time. So, there are many of you that at this point don't want to struggle anymore, and the self-exploration is starting to get to you, and for the most part you're just I don't know, you're at that point where you just need a break and you need it to be easy. And for many of you, you could trine this day out, easily trine it out. You know, many of you want a new beginning. You want something to grow and flourish. You are on the road of self-exploration. There is a lot of pain associated with looking back and being who you used to be, and I understand that, but some of you just may not want to ascend, may not want to go toward the North Node, and may not want to find life balance, because in order to find life balance, you actually have to explore where it is imbalanced, and that can be very self-defeating at times, and it can take away some of your power. So I think many of you are just longing for a simpler time when you just appreciated the small things, and for some of you, you're holding on to that, and that's actually a good start. That's a good place to be. But you don't want it to stick you in the fact that, you know, back then there were no worries, because honestly there was no reason to explore oneself or one's psychological process. I mean, there really was no reason. And so you could try this day out. You could, you know, do things that just, you know, bring pleasure. You can get caught up in the day-to-day routine. You can feel confident in the fact that, you know, things are going easily if you just choose the path of least resistance. So for you, that's bowing down to some of your South Node wiring and accepting that, you know, you're just going to go with the flow today. And, you know, Saturn actually isn't creating any obstacles in your South Node, so it can be very easy for you to adapt and have a smooth day. A smooth day. I'm not saying that you're not going to have squares and quincunxes and oppositions, because those are actually in today. But what I am saying is that for the most part, it's not going to be a holy cow, I'm just trining, I'm really just getting by. You know what? It's the day before the holiday weekend, and I really just need to mellow out and get mentally ready for, you know, something that's going to take a lot of my energy. So we definitely have that going, but there are some of you that are really intent on making changes, really intent on moving forward. And for those people, you know, I think it's just a matter of getting past some of the delusion that you have in your life. Like, I think the great pain that I see associated with some of you is the fact that there was a certain amount of delusion that you had about your situation that you have become altogether too aware of. And it is very disturbing for you to see. And it's almost like there was a death to the ego, the self, that allowed you to stay in the dark. You can't stay there anymore. Some of you that are being awakened, and for some of you that the mind is starting to expand in a really positive direction, those people are simplifying their lives and they're seeking balance. But the expansion, they're just processing the pain, because in order to balance out that painful past, those Pluto-Uranus squares and the Saturn and Scorpio transit, Saturn in Scorpio is death. It is. It could be a death of ego. It could be death of a psychological mindset that you had, a self-destructive pattern. It could be a death to the delusion that there was something more. And it could be actually a physical death. Death of animals, death of things that you hold dear, that you cling to, that keep you from moving forward. So it is super hard to let go of all of that pain associated with that and to fully and deeply process it. So in order to have this balance, this Libran balance in your North Node, there is a sense that you have to process the pain. And for many of you, this happens at night. For many of you, I think you feel most of this subconsciously in your dreams, and there's deep suffering in the evening hours. And, coming to the realization, coming out of illusion is very difficult. Allowing the smoke to clear and allowing the gray to become either black or white, it is just very difficult to face. And for some of you, you want to turn away from it and train it out. For some of you, you want to face it, look at it head on, and know that that was where you fell. And you have a more simplistic view on it. You're removing emotion from it and you're processing it analytically. This isn't a burden that I think you feel for the most part. At this point, intensely emotional. I'm not saying that when you visit these things, these deaths, these losses, these delusions becoming real, I'm not saying that that's not difficult, but you're removing enough emotion to understand that there was a higher purpose, that there was a grander plan for you. There was something that is being, there's a seed in you for a reason, and you're experiencing this exact moment for a reason. Most of you understand that this is fate-based. And so Pluto is in here trying to ask you to get some control over the amount, how loss is affecting you, how it's taking your power away, how to distribute the power that you are learning from this. Meaning, if it's taking away your power, how do you create power and find happiness again in your present life, in what you are holding and what's tangible and what's around you at this present moment? For many of you, that's why you want to train it. It's very difficult to take a look at this, and you really want the road of least resistance right now. You really want to feel like there's more going on. There's been a lot of suffering lately. You really just need to take a break from all of the mental anguish that you're feeling. And I think that's a really, I believe in balance. So balance could be for you to understand that there's a certain amount of time that you have to process things, and there's a certain amount of time where you have to have fun. There's a certain amount of time where you have to spend in remorse, and then there's a certain amount of time where you've got to spend in appreciation. An ending is a gift. If you had a loved one that was suffering, and that suffering was difficult for you to watch and endure, that person is no longer suffering. Yes, it's a loss, but it's also a gain as far as the suffering has been removed from who you love. So there is always a couple ways to look at everything, but it's just removing enough emotion and removing the pain, fight or flight response. It's removing the way that our brain is processing this particular loss. So I think that's definitely what I see here. Remember, for those of you that are just determined that this is a fork in the road and you are choosing a different path, and that you have spent enough time digesting the loss and the tragic endings and the life experience that you endured, and there is a higher purpose to this all, and you are awakened. There is a great expansion in that awakening. You're seeing a higher purpose. You're understanding that new beginnings are coming. The eclipse season is coming. And so you really are trying to harness all of this energy and get the most out of it. For those of you that are going through that, expect a quincunx to come in and test you a little bit. And I want to say that this has something to do with how you passionately pursue something, how you when you start to want to get control of your life and you want to start seeking more life work balance or life home balance or life and ascension balance. For those of you that are trying to seek this, there's a certain amount of gray that's going to start coming out that you need to see, that needs to have a black and white clarification to it. Like, it can't be so gray. So for many of you, that's setting up firm boundaries. And I'm not talking about, this could be relationship boundaries. It's absolutely, there's all this energy swirling around relationships. A lot of the squares that are coming on are the sensitivities that you've endured in relationship, especially in your past relationships. So there is some memories associated with some vulnerabilities that you understand, weaknesses, kinks in your chain as far as in how you love, how you have loved people from your past. So you are redefining boundaries, definitely to keep yourself in a strong position of authority, control over your life, and inevitably just peace in the little things. So you are now starting to see that extreme behavior is not something that you're interested in whatsoever, that a balanced lifestyle is something that you seek. So for those of you that are feeling that, you need to have your vibration, your delusion lowered a little bit for you to experience the growth that you need. Remember that as human beings, we have to associate enough pain with something to want to change it. That is the absolute key to all of this. And so for those people that are experiencing that you're just determined to ascend, which is where I'm at. I'm just determined to ascend. I want to take a look at my past and thoroughly dissect it. It is a plethora of information. It is a roadmap to where I go wrong. It is the secrets that I hide from myself delusionally to justify some of my poor behaviors. It is like finding a gold mine in myself and knowing where I don't value myself enough to get the most out of my gold mine. Like, I want to go dig and get all of the gold out of my gold mine. But before I do that, I've got to go through a lot of rocks, and I've got to, take all those rocks and take them out of the gold mine, and I've got to distribute the rocks somewhere else. So all of those rocks are all the dark stuff in it. So there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of determination to get to the gold supply that's inside of me. That is the way that I look at it. So yes, it is turmoil. It is visiting pain. It is processing it. It is desiring this Saturn-Scorpio sextile in the North Node in Libra. It's absolutely that. Because I want the Wheel of Fortune in my life. I want the lotto. I want to win the lotto in my life. And, you know, to me, the lotto has never been about money. To me, the lotto has been about, I want to love somebody the right way. I want them to love me the right way. I want us to be a good support system for each other. I want us to help each other grow. I want us to support each other's eccentricities, meaning, you know, one of them is, you know, the fact that I love astrology and my channel, and that I am really into metaphysical science, and that I love God. And so I want somebody to love that dichotomy in me. It's like, how can I love God if, you know, astrology is supposed to be so evil? So I need somebody that so I'm laying out, diving deep, and I'm laying all of this stuff out. But this is a slow process. This is something, I'm on a new beginning at this point. I've been here for a little bit, but the new beginning is there. And I'm planting seeds to help them flourish, but I'm also very patient with allowing my garden to grow. Like, I'm really patient that it takes sowing seeds. It takes a lot of independent work to get that all to happen. So I want you guys to understand, when you guys are wanting this, when is it going to end? And this is horrible, and I suffer all the time. And, you know, I want you to understand that you're not suffering. You're simply associating enough pain with some unpleasant things that you went through to want to change them. In order for that to happen, it is a process that you go through. It is a gift. You're taking all of the rocks out of your gold mine to get to your gold. You're working hard at it. It's a diligent process. So for many of you who trine out today, I get it. There are some times where I can tell you that there are times when I get really tired of doing my channel, and I really just want to stop. And I do, and then I have to bust my butt and put out videos right before I do a 10-hour day because I was too busy. I thought, well, I don't want to do my monthlies, but then this is a big month, and so it was a misappropriation of my time. Note to self: don't fracking do that again, because it's really hard work when you do it. So it's about getting balance. It's about learning healthy routines. It's about time management. It's about good work routines. It's about good work ethics. It's about being steady and stable for people to count on. It's about all of those things, and they all mean something very, very important. So today, you know what? I decided that I'm not going to just do a weekly energy buzz diet. I'm actually going to keep it up because I kind of dig it, and it's my little quirky thing that I'm doing for you. So when we go through big things, the underlying thing that gets me through all of this turmoil, all of the Pluto-Uranus squares, all of the times that I've had horrible life-altering moments, the one thing that gets me through is the faith. Now, for me, it's my faith in God. For you, it could be your faith in yourself, your faith in your family, your faith in stability, your faith in your perseverance, determination, your faith in some other form of religious belief, person that you idealize, or, particular thing that you idealize, or it could be just the fact that, you believe in a different outcome. All of these things are incredibly important, but the common denominator on all of them is that there is a faith, that there is a bigger meaning to all of this. So I think one of the things that gets me by, my energetic buzz, the thing that really keeps me going, and no matter what happens in my life, I got it, is because honestly, I am really tuning into this Saturn in Scorpio, and this sextile that's going on in my North Node imbalance. And for me, that is just my utter faith that every single thing that happens to me is to help me grow and flourish. Every person that comes into my life, karmic, twin flame, or soulmate, is there to enrich my life. And God brought them to me in my belief system. In my belief system, it is, I know that there is doors opening that I don't understand where they're leading. It's a new door. It's a new opening. And if I walk through it, it's a new journey. And so therefore, I have absolutely no control over where that door leads or what it opens up inside of me. But all of these doors are there. They're opening at this exact time for a very specific purpose, and it's bigger than I understand. And I have faith that it's okay that I don't understand it, that there is something higher in my life guiding me. And it keeps me plugged in. It keeps me persevering. When something pulls the rug out from under me and I really feel lost. Loss is probably the absolute hardest thing for me to process, because there's a lot of abandonment issues in my life. If I were to classify them psychologically, I think I definitely have them. So loss is probably one of my biggest demons, because I hold on to things I shouldn't, based on the fact that I don't want to lose anything or anybody anymore. And so I need to understand that people coming into my life and leaving my life is just God's way, or energy's way, or the universe's way, however you want to believe, that it's just helping me learn how to let go and process and understand that loss can be beneficial, that loss can be for a reason, and that loss, is part of a growth process. It allows you to associate enough pain with something to want to change it, modify your behavior, set up right boundaries, or even just process the fact that sometimes you have to learn to let go of control, and that the key to life is not having absolutely no control. The actual, what I'm getting from life is that there's control's an absolute illusion. It's an illusion that because you have a house on a hill and that you have lots of money, that at some point your life can't come crashing down and you lose your job, or you get a really terrible health condition that takes away all of your savings, and you lose everything. It's very difficult to process loss, but it's also very important to process it, to really, he's so cute. I always feel bad because it's a 10-hour day and I'm doing a video and I'm not paying enough attention to him. So I have to do both. I have to take care of my little loved one. Anyhow, energetic buzz is have faith. Faith there's a different outcome. Faith that things are going to work out. Faith that life is taking the turns it's taking to show you a better road, to help you understand your life path destiny, to help you grow and, have something better than you have right now. That you just need to have utter faith. Let it plug you in. Let it fill you up. And if there is something that you don't understand, know that there is a reason you don't understand it right now. The door just hasn't been opened up. So something is going to have to open the door, meaning maybe a life, a life obstacle comes in and helps you open that door. Or it could be that, you're just not psychologically ready to open that door, and life knows that balance, and it knows it's got you covered. It knows what you can take and what you can't take. And even though you feel like you can't take it, it's opening these doors to associate enough pain to make you want to walk through that door. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.